Hey guys, it's Ronnie Dinger here. Thank you for listening to my podcast, Red Light, Green Light, where we discuss one topic and you decide if it's going to be green lighted, where we see if you agree on it, like it, love it, hate it, or if we red light it, if you really, really dislike it and disagree with my opinion. Today's topic, we will be talking about veganism in sport, specifically in the NFL. All right, so when you think of NFL players, you probably don't think vegan. A lot of people, when they think of veganism, they think of like earthy, crunchy, nerdy, kind of like tree huggers, not really getting much protein. They don't realize that it's actually a very healthy diet and a very way to go about life. So let's take a peek into NFL players. The least likely to be vegan are actually starting a movement and they're all going vegan. So let's take a look into some specifics here. I'm sure most of you have heard about Tom Brady and his wife Giselle and their crazy eating habits. They are the biggest health nuts on the face of the earth. So, as the Boston Globe points out, it's a movement being led by Tom Brady, who dominated the league in his late 30s and is still going strong at 40 years old. And this is thanks to his vegetable-based diet and flexible training over muscle mass. All right, so now there's a new performance hack taking hold of the NFL. It's going vegan. All right, so Tom Brady himself teamed up with vegan meal delivery service Purple Carrot. I don't know if you all have heard of that, but he creates a meatless, dairy-free TB12 performance meal plan. He started that in 2016. Though it's not completely vegan, his personal diet is reportedly 80% plant-based. So, that's a pretty good number. And this past season, the Tennessee Titans had reported 11 team members going vegan. That was actually basically their entire defensive line, their starters. So, with varying levels of commitment, as reported by the ESPN, 11 of them are going strong. The team made it all the way to the playoffs for the first time in a decade. So clearly something's going right there. So for their linebacker, Derek Morgan, he went vegan nearly a year ago. Defensive tackle Jarrell Casey and defensive lineman Daquan Jones took the leap too. But linebacker Wesley Woodyard needed a little more convincing. He actually said, "Y'all crazy with this vegan thing." That was his first reaction. But he said he's going to stick with pork for now. But soon after, he was convinced. So there you go, saving the pigs. He said, "My energy level's gone up after he became vegan, and it's just putting in good fuel to your body. And of course, it's always hard to keep weight on during the season, but it's worth for me staying on top of my health. So it's a health thing. It's great. Everyone's, doing well." The Titans players are convinced a plant-based diet helps them lose weight, recover faster, and believe it or not, play better. That's what they told ESPN at least. There's also other professional athletes switching to vegan diets and also some vegetarian, but hey, saving the animals. So vegetarian, vegan, all doing great over this past year or so. So that list actually includes NBA stars Damian Lillard, Kyrie Irving, Wilson Chandler, Al Jefferson, Garrett Temple, Enes Kanter, JaVale McGee, and Jahlil Okafor, according to the Bleacher Report. So this is a pretty big deal. Even like Venus Williams, just, to pull someone out there, Venus Williams, star tennis player. She's vegan. And so is Olympic snowboarder Hannah Tedder. It's really catching on. So I don't know if y'all have already green-lighted this, but if not, and you need a little more convincing, let's go into a specific story. So, in the NFL, former lineman David Carter was one of the first to go vegan back in 2014, so quite a while ago, while he was still playing. Now, as an advocate for plant-based diets, going by the nickname, the 300-pound vegan, Carter, 30, says the reason for his switch in diet stemmed from health concerns. This is a quote from him. He says, "I was young, 22, 23, dealing with old man illnesses at a really young age." This is what he told CNBC Make It. He goes on to say, I was playing a professional sport where you're supposed to be touted as one of the strongest guys, the world's top athletes and all of this, but taking high blood pressure medications, painkillers, anti-inflammatories, a whole long list of issues. So basically, Carter was struggling with painful tendinitis at the time. He goes on to say, it was hard for me to do bench press. It was hard for me to do push-ups. Even lifting my body out of the bathtub, it felt like someone was taking a knife to my elbows and twisting that knife around, and I was in excruciating pain. So he was inspired to switch his diet after seeing the documentary Forks Over Knives. All right, guys, this is a great documentary. It's actually on Netflix. If any of you guys want to watch it, I highly recommend it. So basically this examines the profound claim that most, if not all, of the degenerative diseases that afflict us can be controlled or even reversed by rejecting animal-based and processed foods. It's awesome. I really, really strongly suggest that you guys watch it. So he goes on to say, I was drinking a milkshake while I was watching the documentary and poured it out. All right, guys, before I became vegan, a good milkshake, that sounds real good. But can you imagine having a frothy, amazing milkshake and literally pouring it out? Yeah, that's tough to do. So clearly this documentary has quite the impact. So the film touched on the idea that the body inflammation is linked to the consumption of animal products, and it completely changed how he personally thought about eating. But even if you're not an athlete dealing with disease, Carter says that going vegan can help with just overall discomfort about eating unhealthy foods and the effect it has on your body. Quoting him, he says, it's just a lot easier for you to function during work because your body is functioning better. Ooh. So, good stuff there. Have you hit the green light yet? All right. Well, if you're being stubborn, we can go on another topic to try to convince you a little bit more that veganism is the way to go, and that it's actually, even if it's not for you, it's a great diet for athletes to have, especially these big, burly NFL men. So let's go to a different topic. How can veganism boost productivity? So Carter may be right. There's a study published in 2015 in the American Journal of Health Promotion that found that a plant-based diet can boost physical health and emotional well-being, and revealed that an 18-week dietary intervention program boosted employee productivity. In the study, researchers with the nonprofit Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine placed Geico employees that had a BMI of 25 or above or had previously been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes on a low-fat, high-fiber vegan diet. So this is actually pretty interesting stuff. Even though these aren't athletes, these are just regular people, but it just goes to show how good it is for the human body. So the study found that participants experienced a boost in overall productivity and measurable improvements in anxiety, depression, fatigue, and general health based on their responses to a questionnaire. They opted for carbohydrate-rich food like brown rice, steel-cut oats, and rye bread, which the study notes help regulate serotonin levels in the brain. So depression is related to inflammation in the body and low levels of serotonin. Plant-based foods naturally lower inflammation in the body because they are naturally low in fat and high in antioxidants. High vegetable intake increases the amount of B vitamins in the diet, which have been found to affect mood. That is what Dr. Olka Arawal posted in his blog post. So a similar study by author Neil Bernard published in the Annals of Nutrition and Metabolism back in 2010 also linked work productivity to veganism. So basically, it helps with happiness, productivity, it makes these guys strong, it's lowering their body fat. So many good things happening out of this. All right, let's see. Is that enough to convince you? Maybe. All right, guys, let's get to the fun stuff. I'm going to surprise you by some athletes that are vegan that you would never guess are vegan. All right, so Colin Kaepernick, although he's not in the NFL anymore, he did make the decision to go vegan for ethical reasons and say that it feels healthier for him. Next up, we have Aaron Rodgers. He's not totally vegan, but he follows a mostly vegan diet. So he's ditched, even though it is Wisconsin, he's ditched milk, cheese, and other animal-derived ingredients. There's also, Tyrann Mathieu decided to go vegan when he realized that vegan lifestyle is a healthy lifestyle. He says, I was tired of eating poison and was tired of supporting people that don't support us in a healthy way. Cool. There's also Brendan Flowers. He went vegan a little over a year ago and said it changed everything for him. He said, just going vegan, got the history of being vegan and how to fix your body and everything like that. And I fell so in love with it. All right, that's pretty tight. And he looks pretty good, so clearly it's a good thing. Let's see if there's any big bad boy. Oh, yep, we have David Carter. He's the 300-pound vegan. Then Ricky Williams. He's obviously a retired running back, but he says it gives him tons of energy. And there's Tom Brady, mostly vegan, 80% plant-based diet. Ooh, there we go. Fun facts. All right, guys, let me guess. You are wondering, where do these guys get their protein? I know that personally as a vegan, I get that question all the time. What's your protein source? There's so many sources that you eat all the time that are protein sources that you would have no idea are vegan. So, vegan protein sources. So, first of all, if you want to, let's just say we're baking a cake. We can use lentil flour. That's got some protein source in it. We also have seeds and nuts-wise, such a good source. We have pumpkin seeds, almonds, pistachios, flax seeds, cashews. We got soybeans. We got hazelnuts, walnuts even, pecans, macadamia nuts. So many good sources. Also, just for snacks-wise, you have peanut butter that you can put on things. You have tahini for recipes. You can put, peanut butter on whole wheat bread. That's a good source. Even, I know a lot of people are kind of creeped by tofu, but tofu, if you're making a salad, you can do spinach with red beans, lentils, peas, red beans, pecans on top, so much fun stuff. For breakfast, you can have oats, you can make, oatmeal, put peanut butter on top, even like chia seeds, you can put those in a smoothie in the morning. There are so many sources, so do not tell me that there are not sources of protein for these strong guys. So, have I convinced you? Red light or green light? How do you feel? Do you feel good about this trend in the NFL? Do you trust your players to go vegan? Do you think it would help their performances? Clearly, we've got a pretty good idea that it does so far because, we talked about how the, obviously the Titans have been doing well for the first time in so long with their badass defensive line, So let's pick red light or green light. You tell me, comment in the comments, and I will get back to you with any questions that you've got. Here we go. That was red light, green light with Ronnie Dinger. Thanks for listening, guys. #GoVegan. Next week we'll have another interesting topic for you. See you later.